Welcome to Kiki and Kibit's Love After Lockup Edition. My name's Brianna, and as always, I'm here with my co-host Mary.
Hey girl, hey.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
so
chica, oh
excited
yay!
tonight. So
It's
excited
Mary's
tonight.
birthday. It's Mary's birthday, and we have a special guest. In case you don't recognize the glamorous woman in the picture here, we have Lydia, Harry's sister.
Whoop whoop.
Hey.
Hey.
We'd sing
Glam
happy birthday in
girl.
like three-part harmony, except we're all already fucked up. So there you have
Right.
it. That's how we do. So
Yeah.
welcome, Lydia. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm fine. How are you guys?
You look amazing.
Thank you.
We can't get over it. She's
I
fucking
know.
gorgeous.
Lydia was just
I know,
explaining to
right?
us off camera that like the crew just pops in on you at 5 a.m. when you don't even have time to do your makeup. But Lydia's a makeup artist, which is obviously clear from when you can see her now. Am I right?
Right. Yeah. Makeup artist and an esthetician.
An esthetician.
I'm
So
out here, you know,
if
cleaning.
you're in Ohio and you're in need, you know who to go to. Anyway,
Your
welcome
girl.
to the podcast.
Thank you.
Yay. So we're going to
Yay.
jump right in. We want to know, like, this has been interesting, and we've already interviewed Indy and like literally half her family. So now we want to know what was your reaction when you found out that you were going to be filming on Love After Lockup?
I didn't think it was true. I was like, okay, these people are weird. Until like everybody started like showing me the videos and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, that's a lot of views. That's a lot of views. And then I started seeing like the comments and everybody's like tagging Love After Lockup. Everybody's like, oh, we want to follow your guys' story, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And I didn't talk to her like that at the time. But when he was the one that was kind of like, oh, we needed to talk to her. We need to get to know her because this is who he's going to be with and blah, 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 blah. And I usually don't meet like any girlfriends and stuff like that. I don't really care for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
Sure.
the point if we don't really know if it's going to be serious or not? So I didn't really take it that serious. So, you know, just talk to her, whatever. She would hit me up. I would hit her up. And then she started telling us about like how the video went viral. And I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? So then she showed me the video. I'm like, oh, that's, you know, that's cool. So then she kept like bringing up the show. Like they DM'd her or they whatever, and they want to be on the show. And I'm just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool.
Were
Like, I
you
didn't really, it
familiar
just
with the
didn't click.
show? Did you
It
know
still
about
didn't even
it?
click. Yeah. I've heard
Yeah.
of it. I haven't even watched the show. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I don't watch. Even I'm on it and I don't watch it. Like, I haven't
That
watched
might be
nothing. I watched the
good.
first
That might be good.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the very first episode. I mean, I lived it, so it's like,
Right, exactly. So
but I do now that I like everybody's like tagging me into like little clips or whatever. I'm like, they really it's definitely something. Like, I see why everybody's like has something to say or whatever, because it just looks like something that sometimes may not be it, and sometimes it's pretty realistic.
It sounds like what you're
Anytime
saying, that what we see
realistic.
on screen is not always exactly what reality feels like. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, just like some certain things are like, you know, edited, I guess I should say. Like during conversation, like I was there like the whole day talking to her, but they only put a certain amount of the clip. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not really giving you the full. And I get that they probably can't or whatever. I don't really know, but I don't watch the show. So again, I don't know what's going on, what episode we on. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't remember half of the shit I fucking said, like, or what was going on. Like after the big argument fight that you see is like, it was pretty dry for me after that. I don't even think I made any more after that. So.
Did I mention it was Mary's birthday? I'm going to throw that in. Happy birthday, Mary. Sorry. I know that's a diversion. I'm already kind of wasted. Anyway, yeah. Wow. So when you say the big fight, which fight are you talking about?
Like when he first came home.
Right. So good question about that. Was it as chaotic as it looked? Because that looked a little fucked up.
Oh no, that was real. That was real.
That was real. What did you think about that? I mean, he gets out and he doesn't want to come home. It's like 1 in the morning.
Tired. We were just tired. Like, who the fuck want to stay up till 3? It was literally 3 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock at night. Like I didn't get to go to bed till 5. I was pissed. Like, and even then we were still like going at it, over the phone. And you know what I'm saying? Like it was too much. And then my sister and my mom being there, like they don't live close to be sitting here waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? And again, I wasn't mad. I don't necessarily give a fuck. At the time, I was definitely mad that like, bro, you out here doing the most. You know what I'm saying? Buying burgers and shit like that. When we cook, what was the hell point of cooking? It was all your idea.
Oh,
And,
really? He said that
like,
he wanted you guys to cook and then he didn't come home?
Yeah, I guess that they just told me, and I was just like, okay. I don't even remember, but I know that it wasn't on my idea. I could do the fuck.
Right.
Like, we wanted to do something nice, of course, because we weren't able to like throw no big old party or no stupid shit like that. But it was more of his idea than anybody else's, from what I know.
Was it a pretty exciting moment that he was getting out?
Well, yeah, because nobody want to see him in jail. And I mean, let's clarify that without getting myself in trouble. I wasn't allowed to see him. And that's all I can say.
What?
So
that's interesting, because he said he made this big deal, like my family really didn't. Yeah.
Bullshit. Everybody here knows I personally was not allowed to go see him.
Why?
Not because of any person, I can't say, but not because of any person. I just was not allowed in the facility.
Got it.
So
okay.
That's it. So it wasn't like, oh, I didn't want to go see him or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? We talked on the phone all the time or whenever he called. So most of the time I was busy, and that's the problem. Like he had to understand, like, not trying to be an asshole, but I am an asshole. But we didn't go to jail. So if we can't talk, whenever you feel like talking, and I've been through this situation, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had, friends and whatever been in jail, so I know how it goes. But I can't sit here chit chat for a 15-minute call. Like everybody may seem like, oh, that ain't nothing. It's just when you working, you're working. When you're tired, you're tired. When you whatever. Like sometimes I just don't want to kick it.
Indy contacted you before she got out. What was your feeling about that, and what did you think of her when she got out? Yes.
Oh, you said she.
Like, did I? Sorry, I drank like 3 shots of rum. Yeah.
I think you said she. Okay.
I probably did. Sorry. Before he got out, Indy had already been in touch with you. What did you think of her at that point?
Well, honestly, at first, when she first started like texting me, like I told you, he was like, oh, we got to get to know her, blah, 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 because she's going to be here or whatever. Like he was making these plans, and I was just like, whatever, I really didn't care. At first, my sister and her were actually the ones that used to text and talk and stuff like that. And then, my sister, she's just not the type of person to sit on the phone and do all that stuff anyway. So she was just eventually got slow for them. And it wasn't, like her talking to her all the time or whatever. So then like she'll start hitting me up, and I would just, answer her questions or whatever we were talking about real quick or whatever. And then it started to get more serious. Well, now you guys are gonna hear
how many kids do you have?
I have 3 now. The baby was just born.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
No more children. Keep going.
I hear you.
But yeah, so she then started like hitting me up, and then as soon as it started getting like closer till he was coming home, it was like, okay, she was like on more like a crunch time type of thing. And I'm just like, trying to talk to her, like, none of it makes sense. Like, where are you going? And at first it sounded like they had a plan, like she was looking for houses. I was trying to help her get into like apartments and stuff like that. I was telling her where to go. She was asking me, I went to a freaking apartment viewing for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was sitting here like thinking like they were really serious. So I'm like, all right, and she's over there. So I'm like, let me look at some apartments or whatever and see what we can find so she can come down here and have somewhere to go. And then it was like, all right, boom, it started to rush because we didn't really know when he was getting released. It was like in between a few months, like they were going to let him out early and put him on the house, the whatever house, and
halfway house.
stuff like that. Yeah, the halfway house. So we didn't really know like when is he gonna. So that's why it became such a like a crunch time type of thing for her. So
yeah, how
we
did it
just
come
started
up
talking, and
that she asked if she could stay with you with her kid?
It wasn't that she necessarily asked.
Just kind of turned out that way.
She just told you?
Well, she was like telling me, well, she said something stupid and it pissed me off. Like,
what?
She was gonna start staying at hotels. And I just was like, you're gonna stay in a hotel for a month? So that's when it became like, all right, let me help her out because it's just,
so you offered. She didn't ask. You offered.
More like I offered, yeah. Only because it was literally like a week or something like that before, and it didn't make any sense. I'm gonna stay at a fucking hotel with your child, and he might not even be out. So
that's really nice of you.
Yeah, and then at that time, he was trying to figure out where he was going to be paroled to. And so I'm like, all right, well, if he's going to be paroled here, I mean, it would only make sense. I was kind of trying to make it more common sense for everybody. Like, you know, it was like she asked, but it wasn't like she asked. And then I just like threw it out there like, girl, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you help me help you. I guess. Not to say.
What a blessing.
Yes. Makes sense still.
So what did you think of her when you first met her?
I didn't.
You didn't. You just reserved your opinion? You were like, jury's out.
I didn't think of her at all. Like when I first met her, I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, we already talked a billion times on the phone, so it was like some regular shit, but like getting to know her. Lanaya. Take your brother.
And she's back. And she's back.
So yeah, I didn't really, you know, when we met, it was like, it was cool. When I started to get to know her, that's when I started to feel like, okay, maybe she's just a little too pressed over my brother. And I don't like that. Like, I never decided, like any of my old friends, they're old friends for a reason, because if they mess with my brother, I don't usually kick it with them anymore. Because
what do you mean by
need
pressed?
to hang with anybody that's going to talk about my brother.
What does pressed mean?
Thirsty. Thirsty over my brother. Googly eyes.
A lot of pressure. Yeah. Pressure.
Yeah. Stuck on dumb. Yeah. And I don't like that. I don't like somebody to just talk about my brother all the time and stuff like that. And even I talked about my brother a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like, it was kind of starting to like get used to, you know what I'm saying? Because she was talking about him a lot and just seeing her emotions like a roller coaster. I keep trying to give her advice and stuff like that, but I'm giving her advice on my brother, you get what I'm saying? And I didn't like that. So I'm like, you know, I can't keep talking about my brother. Like, it is what it is. You knew who he was before, well, kind of what he was before, you know, he came home. So this is what you made.
It sounds like what you're saying is like, that she had a lot of expectations of him when they weren't met. Yeah, she was complaining to you.
If we're gonna be honest, she didn't feed her own bullshit. She was fed bullshit. So you
by
can't
your brother
expect her to feel the way. Right. You can't expect her, you know, and I love my brother and everything. I'm not gonna bash him and I'm not gonna talk about him, but let's be real. She didn't make believe shit in her head and decided, I'm gonna go to Maryland for some prisoner. I'm gonna come to Ohio for a prisoner. She didn't make that up in her head. She didn't make up her emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys can talk all the shit that they want. We do not put stuff in our heads. They put stuff in our heads, and we take it how we take it because we're fucking emotional as fuck.
Sure.
We're fucking females.
And we've met her, and I think it's fair to say she's a very authentic human being. Like, there's nothing fake about
she's
Indy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
well, I mean,
cool
or not, she's real, right? Like, whatever she's showing.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But she's, you know,
maybe naive.
She's a knucklehead. Yeah.
Naive. Yes.
Naive.
Naive is the perfect word. Very, very naive. A little gullible. I've said that to her already.
Yeah.
But she's pissed me off plenty of times for me to cuss her out and really give her, you know, a few words, a few times.
So she had
So-
high expectations, but they were not based in reality, basically. They were based on a story your brother told her, and he had his whole. I'm not
No.
saying he didn't have feelings for
I
her.
do think that he was being for real
Mhm,
when he was in jail. But
right.
I made it clear to her that you can't do all of this based off what he's saying in jail, because dudes change as soon as they get some freedom. Like, I know this firsthand. Like, they switch on you. They get some freedom. They get to do this. They get to do that. All these females in his face, and we on the show shit. So then everybody's hearing about him. He's just talking about it. Everybody's all googly eyes about him. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of like thrown at him to a certain extent. And what would you expect? He was expecting somebody to be like, nope, I'm gonna do everything I said I was gonna do in there. Nobody really does anything they said it was gonna do, or doesn't normally turn out the way that we expect things to happen. So I do think that it was genuine at first. But then again, I don't know, because I wasn't there for their conversations. I would know if my brother bullshitting and if I hear what he's saying. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? But I
Sure.
really do feel like at first, like when he was in jail, like it was genuine, because when he did talk to me, he seemed very, I wouldn't have wasted my time if I felt like he was bullshitting when he talked to me about the stuff that he talked to me about. But at the same time, I was just like, we'll see. That's all I can say, because I know people change when they get out of a situation like that. You've been in there for 4 or 5 years, like, you're going to hit this air and it's going to feel a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? And your mindset is going to change. And then on top of that, you went in there so young to come out and talk about relationships and marriage and shit like that. That's just, it don't make sense. You got to give it a pause. And that's what I was trying to explain to her. Like, you don't know how he's going to be. You're set on this shit that was said, but because she felt like it was genuine. You know what I'm saying? And again, it really could have been a fucking genuine as fuck. But I told her to don't be rushing shit without seeing how things were going to turn out. And then when things didn't turn out the way she expected to turn out, now you're heartbroken. But we all told you what was going to happen. We all told you what to be aware of. We all told you to slow the fuck down. You get what I'm saying? Like,
He's still very young. He's still very
yeah,
young. I got married at
Talking about a boy.
24. I didn't know who the fuck I was. Like, I don't think, even if you're not in prison, like, you don't know who you are at that age. So,
Man, he's a boy to me.
He is a boy.
That's my
he's
little
a
brother.
boy
He's
to
a boy
all
to
of
me.
us.
He's
honey.
only 5 years older than my son, Brianna. If you think about
How old
it.
is he?
Harry went in at my son's. He's
25.
Oh, he's 25.
He's
Oh,
25.
Oh, 24, about to be 25. I can never get it
24,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid's 29.
Yeah, so he's only-
so like,
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So did the fact that Indy have kids, did that change your assessment of the situation? Like, how did that play into it?
no. I mean, I made it clear to everyone that stayed here that I have rules in my house. And if your child is not obeying by the same rules my children have to be with, then either you get with the program or don't. And that's just that. This is my home, and I'm not going to change it to make anybody feel comfortable. I'm going to keep it my comfortability, and you either tiptoe around this motherfucker or you don't. And that's just that. You have to, I know all about tiptoeing in someone's house. I know how it feels to live with someone else. So I know, you know what I'm saying? Now I know how it feels for someone to live with me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I know what you can and cannot do. I know what I'm going to feel comfortable with and what I'm not going to feel comfortable with. On top of that, I have children. So whatever you guys do is going to affect my kids. And I'm allowing this because you're in my home, because I allowed you to be. So it'll be on my fault. And I take full responsibility for anything that my kids see, learn, or hear, because we're the parents and we're the only person to blame. So if my kids see bullshit or arguments or all this silly drama ass shit, then we're gonna have a problem. And I am stepping in, regardless if it's my business or not, because these are my kids and it shouldn't be happening. And in front of your own kids. Your own kids they didn't deserve to get dragged into anything. They don't need to see it. Now she only had one, so only one stayed here. The other one was with their dad. So it wasn't like too much of a hassle, but I love her daughter and everything, but she was a lot for me. And it was a lot of like having to get her and, trying to get her like understanding that whose home it is.
And how many kids are there in your family, by the way? Is it just the three of you?
No. But we don't really like, we're not very close to everyone else. Like
Yeah.
all the other sisters and brothers we have, it's
Yeah.
really just us three that were raised together.
Yeah.
So, and it's only us three that's here with my mom. There's like literally no other blood relative here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, we kind of just stick to ourselves.
Right.
But Harry got a kid. Harry got Ava. Carla has Aiden, and then I have the three. But there's a bunch. If you
Were you and Harry very close growing up? Are you close in age?
I mean,
first of
yeah,
all?
growing up, yeah.
Yeah. Are
Yeah,
you
we
close
were.
in age?
Yeah, he's 1 year younger than me. And I'm 1 year younger than Carla.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So very close.
Yeah, we're all 1 year apart.
I was
Yeah,
super
very close.
moved by that conversation that Harry had with your mom about how you grew up and his
I have
feelings
no
about-
clue.
Oh, you haven't seen it. He talked about wanting to break the cycle and how he and your mom grew up with no dad, and how your stepdad put him through a lot. And he said he had to pretend the scar on his forehead was him falling off a bunk bed. It was pretty deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went through a lot of stuff when we were kids.
Yeah.
We were you know, I'm not ashamed of my past, neither is my sister, and I don't think my brother is too. I mean, he kind of opened that door for me to say, but what I'm gonna say is we were beat for 11 years by my stepdad, and it wasn't like no regular ass whoopings every day, you know what I'm saying? There was always some
This was real.
fighting us like a man type stuff, like really getting our ass whooped for fucking nothing. Like it was always like that. Harry was pretty picked on a lot with him. I had my fair shares of whatever the fuck I had to deal with. Everybody had like their own chores, their own rules, type of thing. My sister dealt with a lot too. So my brother was just left alone a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like not really. My mom worked all the time, so it's like she didn't really realize what was happening. But I kind of want to say she did and she didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to know what's going on in your household. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure.
But I don't, you know, I'm not angry with her or nothing like that.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know. But I kind of feel like, to be honest with you, you know, I love my brother and everything, but sometimes you got to get over it. Like we all went through it. It was me, you, and Carla that went through the same shit. Nobody was any different other than you're a dude and we're girls. You know what I'm saying? Like we all went through the same crap. So it's like, I'm not sitting here every fucking day dwelling on some shit that happened whole long, 10, 12 years ago. You get what I'm saying? And so on. Like we have to move on. We got kids now, and kids don't need to know nothing about it. They don't need to, you know, all I can do is be better than what we were or however we were raised, you know? So it's like, I'm not sitting, you know, and I get that some people really just have a hard time getting over things, but it's like after a while, we're not talking a year. We're talking 10 plus years ago. We have to move on. We got kids that don't need to see their parents depressed or sad or frustrated or drinking or smoking. And you know what I'm saying? That's how those things become a problem to these kids' life. Like,
Yeah.
we still gotta be parents. I just you just gotta throw all that shit out the window once you be a parent. Your daughter's who you're supposed to be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna baby it. You know, we're all three of us went through the same shit. There's no
Right.
babying around here.
And he's the only
my
one who
sister-
ended up in prison.
For his own actions and
Right.
way after the fact, my stepdad
Right.
being gone. That
Yeah.
was on.
Yeah. How did that
You and your
affect your
actions.
family when he went to prison?
I mean, we kind of saw the life he was living. It was only gonna end up one or two places, you know. And what
Prison
can
or
we
dead?
say? That
Yeah.
or just forever being in the same zone that you were in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had his stuff together though, you know. He had like a house and stuff like that. And I usually don't see my family a lot, which is why I'm the distant one. I
Oh.
live further from everyone. Not that I live super stupid. I live like 30 minutes away. I'm pretty close, but it's at the same time, I'm not traveling every day to go see them. They all were like literally either in the same apartment up the street from each other or around the corner. I was always out the way.
Is
I'm
that on
all the way
purpose?
inside.
Is that intentional?
Yes and no. Not intentional for them. Like me and my sister, that's my best friend. I talk to her every day. When I wake up, I call her. When I go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I call her. Everything I do,
He's
call
your
her. Driving,
Mary.
call her. Right. She's my Mary. So it wasn't really to get away from them.
Yeah.
I just had my own problems, my own life, my own shit to deal with. And where I was at the time, like I said, I was, homeless from like 15 on until I was like 18. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing my own thing. I was sleeping anywhere. I was going through a whole lot of my teenage years. So when I got pregnant, my daughter's side of the dad side of the family pretty much took care of me and took me in ever since. So that's who I stayed with. That was the main reason why I lived so far, you know what I'm saying? And whatever, but without them, I wouldn't even be here now. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I just stayed out here because they were out here. So,
Yeah.
And I go see my sister and my mom or whatever, you know what I mean? Here and there. Now I see them almost every day, but.
Yeah. Do you think Harry has changed as a result of being in prison?
Nope.
No.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I guess. But before Harry went to jail, me and my brother really didn't talk as much. Like I seen him when I could see him. Look, I'll go out there sometimes, not all the time. I was busy. I'm very busy. I love to work. So I'm always working. I'm always doing something. I'm always, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I'm just never whatever. So I didn't see him as much as I, would like to. And then like right before he even went to jail, like I really didn't see him maybe for like a month before he even went to jail. Like I didn't see him for a while. So it was kind of like, what? When they called me, I was like, what the fuck you mean he in jail? For fucking what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and for 5 years. It wasn't
really like, yeah. So at first it was like he was in jail in the county for a year. So I'm like, all right, bro, when's your court date? You know what I'm saying? Like, when are they actually going to sentence you or whatever? How the fuck we supposed to know? And me and my sister, man, we rushed down there for his court date and we fucking missed it. And the whole time we thinking it was him on up there talking or we were in back of him. We weren't even back of him. We were back to somebody else that looked like him from the back. So like we had missed him and everything. But me and my sister was like speeding down there to try to see, to really be there for him, to let him know that we were there for him. But he didn't see us because he was fucking went first and we didn't know. And we were running behind, finding parking. And by the time we got there, he was gone. And it was just super frustrating. So then we had to wait to find out what the fuck was said because nobody there was for him. You know what I'm saying? We're for him. So
it's a lot.
It was just a hot mess. So then when we found out everything, I was just like, kind of shocked, like, oh shit, this shit is real. Like, what the fuck? I just, even still to this day, it's just like 5 years of your life just thrown away. And when he was in jail, when he was doing his time though, my brother did very well. Very well. Like I can't speak on, everything he was doing in there because I wasn't in there. But for like all the programs and everything he did what he needed to do. He got into no trouble, no issues. He hung with who he hung with and still didn't get into any bullshit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like he did very well. So maybe at that time, maybe that's why everything that he was saying all the way at the end was so genuine. And I was like, all right, because he's been on his P's and fucking Q's. And I hand that shit to him. He did handle himself well, so I don't.
He actually comes across as someone, I have a feeling he's actually an intelligent guy. Like he might be rougher on the edges, but my takeaway is like I see that he's actually an intelligent person.
A lot of people say that he is very intelligent. He is very intelligent. He used to read a lot of fucking books because the only books we were allowed to read when we were kids was encyclopedias. So we had that shit as our fucking kids book. So my brother is definitely, he used to read a dictionary all the time. Like he used to be a little geeky and he was very smart or whatever. And then he just became like, I don't know, maybe just life itself just was like, when people see that you're different, they really try to do everything to beat you down. And I think that's kind of what happened. Like when he got more into the streets and he started becoming a teenager, being smart and all that shit wasn't really it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a dumb thing to say because you're supposed to be like smart enough to not fall for everyone else's bullshit. But when we're in the life that we were in, we kind of got thrown into what we had to get thrown into, and we far our way out of it one way or another. So I feel like he just met the wrong people and was kicking it with the wrong people and then kicking in became really kicking in and drinking and chilling and doing too much of it and females and this and that, just teenager dude, boy being a fucking boy. And I think just like the smartness kind of just was like, he didn't care for the books, but my brother is very fucking smart and he knows how to talk to someone, big words and everything if you wanted to. But I just feel like he chooses to say the shit that he say and chooses to feel the way that he feels. And that's kind of his choice. It's what he wants.
Right.
Everything is how he comes off is what he wanted to be.
Right.
Not
he seems
that
like he has a temper, actually, which I relate to.
now.
Yeah. Oh, now? Not he didn't before.
He's always had a little temper, but now
Yeah.
I think he got a little out of himself where he feel like he can talk to anybody any old kind of way. And that's just not how that goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eventually he's going to have to figure that out on his own,
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, guys.
You're a little blurry, Mary. You might want to turn your camera off and on. Oh, that just got better when you got closer.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. And she's back, the birthday girl.
The birthday girl is here.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like
heavy stuff.
The reason he had a temper, I feel like it was because we were on TV.
So what? You mean that's not authentic?
No, like
more patient off camera.
Authentic. My thing, no, it is authentic. When my thing is like, let's say, like it's live. It's kind of like it's live. Anything that we say can be used against ourselves. Like they're gonna edit it, or they're gonna say something, and they're gonna be like, no, let's do this or let's do this. It's gonna be, what I'm saying. So we have to either tread carefully or don't. But I was being realistic because that's what we were going through. He was being realistic because that's what he was going through. But when he getting all hyped up and upset and stuff like that, it's because I feel like he just didn't want to be embarrassed. So he had to make it extra, but he was for real. And that's what was pissing me off. Like, first off, calm the fuck down. Because I'm not going to sit here and I'm pregnant having fucking high blood pressure because you want to be all screaming and big and tough and all this other shit. But if it wasn't genuine, then he wouldn't have done it. If he felt like he respected us, he wouldn't have done it, because any person is going to respect a female is not going to sit there and just embarrass them or, you know what I'm saying, or be a dickhead on TV or anything like that. Yeah. So I feel like he was like, kind of set in stone, like, I'm not about to let nobody embarrass me. I'm not about to let anybody talk to me no kind of way because this is about to be on TV and I'm just not going to look like no punk type shit. But he genuinely is like that. He don't give a fuck. And that's what I couldn't deal with. Yeah. Nobody's going to sit here and just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just talk to me. And
Exactly.
You can step for that shit. I don't want to hear it.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like
heavy stuff.
The reason he had a temper, I feel like it was because we were on TV.
So what? You mean that's not authentic?
No, like
more patient off camera.
Authentic. My thing, no, it is authentic. When my thing is like, let's say, like it's live. It's kind of like it's live. Anything that we say can be used against ourselves. Like they're gonna edit it, or they're gonna say something, and they're gonna be like, no, let's do this or let's do this. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So we have to either tread carefully or don't. But I was being realistic because that's what we were going through. He was being realistic because that's what he was going through. But when he getting all hyped up and upset and stuff like that, it's because I feel like he just didn't want to be embarrassed. So he had to make it extra, but he was for real. And that's what was pissing me off. Like, first off, calm the fuck down. Because I'm not going to sit here and I'm pregnant having fucking high blood pressure because you want to be all screaming and big and tough and all this other shit. But if it wasn't genuine, then he wouldn't have done it. If he felt like he respected us, he wouldn't have done it, because any person is going to respect a female is not going to sit there and just embarrass them or, you know what I'm saying, or be a dickhead on TV or anything like that. Yeah. So I feel like he was like, kind of set in stone, like, I'm not about to let nobody embarrass me. I'm not about to let anybody talk to me no kind of way because this is about to be on TV and I'm just not going to look like no punk type shit. But he genuinely is like that. He don't give a fuck. And that's what I couldn't deal with. Yeah. Nobody's going to sit here and just, you know what I'm saying? Just talk to me. And
exactly.
You can step for that shit. I don't want to hear it.
Are there any other misconceptions you feel like people have about you or him that you'd like to clear up? Like, what's something that people say about you that isn't true? This is something I
I
ask
haven't seen
people in
anything
job
bad.
interviews. What's that?
I haven't seen anything bad about me. I haven't seen anybody say something that was incorrect.
I haven't
Or that
either,
was
by the way. I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything bad.
Like everybody loves you,
Um,
Lydia.
yeah, from me, surprisingly, I didn't think they were. Um,
Do you have a
what was
psychic?
it?
I'm just
I think I
curious.
kind of clarified that. Like,
Yeah, you did.
it wasn't that I didn't want to
You're
come see
real.
him.
Yeah.
It was the
You
fact that I
couldn't
couldn't
see
come see
him
him.
for whatever
Yeah,
reason. Yeah.
that was one of the main things
Yeah.
that I wanted to clarify. Why everybody's in the comments was just like, "Oh, they didn't even go see him." Like, no, motherfucker, I couldn't. I had an excuse, an actual real excuse. Now I can't speak for my sister and my mom, but we all, again, all have lives and we're all moms.
Right.
We can't just up and leave because we want to up and leave. Well, trust me when I say that even the people that I know that went to jail, I barely went. See, even when I could. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I mean, that's my brother and I love him and everything like that, but it's so much going on out here. You get what I'm saying? We're not all set in life. We're not all making it and rich and all this other, man. We work hard. We're hardworking people. So it's not, I'm not sitting here kicking in and doing whatever. Oh, I'd rather do this. I put enough money on them books. I done did my part. I done did my due diligence that I felt like I did. If you don't want to speak on that, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I know what I did.
Right.
I can care less what anybody else fucking feel. You know what
Your
I'm saying?
conscience
Like,
is clean.
yeah, I know what the fuck I did. I mean, if everybody else want to talk about it, like, oh, they didn't even look out for it. Go ahead, believe everything you see on TV.
Okay. Mary,
So,
do you have any last
that was kind of
questions
my
for
only thing I
Lydia?
thought.
No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want people to know, Lydia? You've been very generous with your time.
No, I don't. Mm.
Did I mention you look amazing?
I think too. I do have something to say, actually.
Okay.
That God works in mysterious ways. Do you guys hear my baby?
Yeah. Yeah. We hear your baby. That's
See,
why I'm
now-
saying, do you have any last questions? I don't want to keep you from your
I'm
kids
sorry.
anymore.
Yeah,
It's totally fine. We understand you have real life going on. Don't worry
I don't
about
have
it.
babysitters.
No, it's okay. It's
I never
okay.
did either.
Okay,
I
so
just
you were
wanna,
saying that God works in mysterious ways.
God does work in mysterious ways. See, now, I don't believe in all that psychic ass bullshit that she fucking believes in. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and take all your fucking advice from their asses, but I'm not saying that what they say, isn't all the way. Cause it could be it's very realistic for the most part, but a lot of the stuff is just like, nah. You get what I'm saying? And just because they say, oh, this is what could happen, or this is what I see in your future, doesn't mean you do everything that the fucking motherfucker says to do. You get what I'm saying? That you have to do your own picking and choosing on what you want to do. But what I was saying was, God works in mysterious ways, and even though Indy came down here for my brother, I really think God put her here for me. And then God did the same thing with putting me in her life for her. Because so much, and I don't know what I can and cannot say because don't nobody talk to me about this shit. But
that's surprising though. You guys have become something to each other.
Very close. Yeah, we did become very close. Now she is a knucklehead, and again, I done gave her my 1 and 2s before, like, saying how I feel, and then I like stop talking to her, and then I recently just started talking to her again because I kind of felt bad because I know that I'm mean and I come off really strong, but it was pissing me off that, you know what I'm saying, you still falling for stupid shit.
Yeah. But you said
Right.
now that
Sometimes
she's
you just gotta let
gone,
it go.
now that she's gone, what?
Oh, we're cool. We definitely are cool or whatever, but she's definitely kind of gave me which is funny, a reason to leave. I actually plan on leaving Ohio.
Interesting.
Yeah. Starting my
Are you
own
going to
company,
Maryland?
So
You gonna
nobody
hang
knows
out with
that
her?
because actually the first people I told.
Are you going to Maryland to hang with Indy?
It's definitely a big thought. It's definitely a big thought, yeah. To start my new life somewhere the fuck else, just to get away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like again, I feel like God put her in my life maybe for a reason, and that God did the same thing. Maybe God needed to show her, or somebody needed to show her, what she shouldn't be doing, what she should be doing, and how to better herself as a mom. Now she's older than me, and I respect her and everything like that. But a lot of decisions she made, I was not agreeing with, especially when it comes to when your kids are involved. I don't play like that. So there was a lot of me having to be like, you know, a big sister, and then there was her having to have my back a lot too. You get what I'm saying? But for the most
Yeah.
part, I was just really trying to get her to understand that, you know, she can't be making decisions just because of some dude.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck who it is. That's my brother,
I
and I don't
hear
give a
you.
fuck. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta do for you and these kids. Like, all that shit that was going on with her calling him
Right.
that shit got cut off the minute you walked into this door. She will not call him daddy, because that's not happening here. That's
Yeah.
not her dad. He has
Right.
to earn that. You don't get to get called daddy and you didn't earn it. You don't even know her. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Like, that's not something you have kids confused on.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if she said to do it or if he said to do it or if she did it on her fucking own. You guys allowed it to happen, so you guys are the ones to blame.
Right.
And that's just how I
hear
felt.
you.
So I felt
Yeah.
like, you know, God put her in my life for a reason, and God put me in her life for a reason. Now, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to Maryland just yet, or even if I don't even know, but Texas or some like other places are definitely an idea. But the
Yeah.
move was kind of like
Right.
thought, you know what I'm saying, brought into my life. Like, I gotta get out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
yeah.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time. I really appreciate
You're
it. And I
welcome.
don't want to
Yes,
keep
Sorry.
you from your
thank you.
babies anymore.
Yeah, sorry. They're on
You're
the-
No, it's
beautiful.
alright.
You look
It's a
amazing.
daycare in here.
Yeah, right. You look incredible, and I want to thank you for your generosity and spending so much time with us.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Say hi to your people for us.
Yes, say hi to your
Oh,
people.
Yeah. Hope you have a
Thank you.
great rest of your day. Thank you. Take care.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.